There you go. It's loud in here. So we're here with Doug Aldrich from the Dead Daisies, Whitesnake. How many bands?
Well, I mean, I'm pretty old, so it's a lot of bands.
You're not that old.
I started to get more known in Dio probably.
Okay.
And then Whitesnake and the Daisies, but I had a band called Lion way back in the 80s,
Yep.
and unfortunately we didn't break, but it was a good band.
Yeah, hell yeah. All right, cool. Let's check out the new amp, shall we?
Yeah, it's called the DA100 Ruby.
That makes sense. So
And
after your daughter.
My daughter Ruby, and I just, we were just bouncing names off, talking about this project,
Right.
and so I said that, and I said Ruby, and they said, "Oh, we love it." And I was like, "Well, what if we make it like look like that?" So that's how it ended up looking that way. But I had an opportunity to. I've known the Blackstar guys forever, always been great.
Yeah.
And I had an amp similar to this called HT100 Mark III on the road, and I loved it.
Okay.
So we basically Paul helped. Paul is the designer.
Right.
We tweaked some of the mid range, some of the bias and stuff, and put an effects loop that's switchable.
Okay.
And it's just a killer amp. It's got 3 channels, and then each channel's got a separate voice.
I was just saying, the stuff you were playing us in, it was punchy. It had just a little hair on it, but it really cut. It sounded amazing. Even on the neck pickup, it was so clear.
Yeah, and if you we're at the NAMM show, so we can't play super loud, but this thing it cranks.
Yeah.
It's barking.
But there was no shrillness to it. Like some of the amps are loud and they just knock you over. It just was a really pleasant sound. Yeah.
It's got a great sound. I mean, it probably has more knobs than I'm used to, but I love everything. This ISF is a Blackstar feature.
I love that.
They have
kind of go American or British.
Yeah, and but sometimes I like American. Right today, I'm more hanging on the British side, but so it covers everything from the classic Blackstar, like the Fly 3 amp, that clean that you want. It really makes you want to practice and play, to all the way up to like burning, heavy metal. You can do whatever you want.
Well, it's got a lot of gain on top, but you're not known for using too much gain anyway. It sounds like you want a little bit more cut.
With I love everything actually.
Okay.
There's times when when I had done stuff with Whitesnake or Dio, especially Dio,
need some heavy
where
stuff.
It was really heavy. But I agree with you. I don't like the shrill heavy. I like more of a tough, punchy, like a bark.
Yep. The Kerrang. Yeah.
So I'll show you that in a sec. But
yeah, so essentially, obviously, we've got our clean, we've got our OD and OD2. Tell me about the boost. What were we going after for that? Is it just a more button, or is it coloring the sound at all?
It actually is. It's a volume boost.
Okay.
That basically to put you above the band when you cut through.
Right.
If you're playing with a group, a lot of times people just hit a distortion pedal or whatever, and they'll get their lead sound, but it's still not like. When they go from playing rhythm to lead, it drops a little.
Yeah.
So the boost helps bring it above the band. I like it because I can hear better what I'm doing, and it also gives the front of house engineer a little more to work with.
Yeah, sometimes when you use an overdrive or even a compressor to boost it, you're coloring the sound in a way, or it's compressing in a way. So you're right, that there's that perceived drop in volume. This just sounds like it's giving you that bump for a lead, and then you back it off.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's the capability of that little pedal board is amazing because you can go from either voice by hitting the patch again.
That's so easy.
Yeah.
And no pops. Nice quiet switches.
No, this thing is super quiet.
And so for the effects loop, I mean, you don't strike me as the kind of guy that uses a ton of effects anyway, right?
No, but I do like some, I love to experiment.
Okay.
But I always, when I'm playing a rock gig, I always like to have some delay on tap for either fun effects or for a little grease for the solos and stuff. This is set to just a very little delay right now, but
just kind of wet up the sound a little bit.
Yeah. And then the other thing, Ryan, I wanted to tell you, the cab rig thing that they have is insane.
Awesome. It's so cool.
I mean, there's no need for a microphone anymore.
You don't have to blow your head off. They're making it a lot better. I mean, it's still loud, but I mean, the fact that you can go direct like that and it sounds so good.
Yeah.
Like the technology has finally caught up.
It's incredible. I've got a couple front of house engineers that still like mics, but I'm like, dude, I don't want to hear the mic in my monitors.
In-ears,
I want to hear the amp itself with the cab.
Well, and you've been doing this a long time, so you probably had to play some gigs where your pants are flapping. There's just so much air moving.
Yeah.
And now, you're without your ears. What are you?
Well, no, you take care of your ears, kids. It's very important.
It really is. It's a sad state of affairs. So, so would you say that the clean on this channel is more of like an American clean, and then it's more of a British crunch, or
both?
How would we describe it?
It's got both. You can get a really clean. I mean, it's a Les Paul, so it's not like a Strat. It's going to give you even that more spanky.
I mean, it almost sounds Fendery. It's nice and clear.
I'm kind of old school too, where I roll off the volume a lot and clean it up that way.
Right.
Then you got the overdrive. That's a little bit more hair.
Yeah. Wow.
You can get the other voice of that, and it gets pretty beef.
Damn.
And then it goes on. It gets
Even more.
Oh yeah, it's. I mean, I don't want to get us in trouble, but. So, and there's tons more gain.
Yeah, but that's like a good Billy Gibbons kind of easy time.
Yeah, and if you want to go heavier.
Yeah, dude. That's amazing. That sounds awesome. I'm gonna give you. Oh, you're still playing. Hold on.
And then the effects loop is really hot. It's just a little bit of.
Just a little delay, yeah.
And if you turn it off, the delays still trail. So you can.
Oh, nice.
I couldn't. My boots are too big.
It's also off the floor. But.
Anyway, yeah, it's awesome.
So that's completely bypassable, the effects loop?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Which is cool because so you don't want to run a ton of
Sorry.
You don't want to run a ton of cable to the floor to hit the delay.
Right.
So it's nice to have a little delay pedal sit in the back with your amp,
right.
And you can just have the foot switch out there and your guitar cable, and that's it.
Well, what I'm also struck by is that you've got the two different overdrives, but then you've got a green and a red. So essentially, it's just two different flavors of each overdrive.
Yeah. So it's basically, I mean, it's like a 6-channel.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's like a switchblade.
For the gig that I normally do with the Dead Daisies, I can get by with a couple channels.
That's amazing.
It's enough. But this thing inspires you. I think when people get their hands on it, they're going to be inspired to do all kinds of other things with it.
It sounds amazing.
It covers everything.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful. Tell me about the cabinet.
Cabinet is Blackstar's build. Their cabinets are road test ready, heavy duty. They don't vibrate like some 4x12s I used to have. They get bounced around and they start to vibrate and make weird sounds or whatever. These things are rock solid. And we went with vintage 30 speakers that are English Celestians.
Right.
And
the good ones.
And they sound killer.
Yeah, man, that sounds awesome.
When this thing is, in a quiet environment, you can really get a lot of color out of it. It just sounds awesome.
But that's the thing about it too. I mean, if everyone standing around here is listening to it, it's like it's a great sound. Some amps are good at pumping out volume, but it just take your head off. Yeah. Something about this, it's just the way you dialed it in. How many iterations did you guys have to come up with before you landed on it?
I mean, there was a bunch, but there's a bunch of tweaking and stuff.
Sure, that's the fun part.
Actually, it's different. If I change this, let me see what this sounds like.
Okay,
really quick.
Got it.
actually sounds.
That sounds awesome.
That sounds good.
It almost sounds like you put a tube screamer on it. It's got that mid bump, like it gives you that almost like a JCM 800 vibe. It sounded really cool.
Yeah, I mean that's just all I did was scoop the mids out a little bit.
Yeah,
and it's I love it.
I could see why. And these are out now, or are they coming
out in April, I believe.
April,
yeah.
Okay. And so, are you doing a combo, or is it just head and cap?
I don't know. They might do that, but I'm gonna get these home next week and just go to town.
All right. And so you're taking them on the road?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're doing the Dead Daisies are starting in Europe in March.
Awesome. So you're ready to go?
Yeah. Got my amp, got my guitar.
And it looks good. I love the color. You should say thank you to your daughter.
Yeah, it's just, it's something you can see. These were the prototypes that I took on the road last year.
Right.
You can see they just look a little different than a regular black amp. And
Hell yeah.
And I love it. And they will age nicely.
Hell yeah. They look, and the matching knobs. I mean,
yeah.
Because it has to look cool.
I mean, I didn't care. You could put. I like that they're red because I can see them. Sometimes with black or black, I need glasses.
For sure, me too.
But I do think it looks really good.
Yeah, well, it's got to be one of them. I mean, Blackstar is known for their versatility, but this kind of takes it to a new level.
Well, they've got all kinds of great stuff they're doing.
Sure.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Paul, their chief designer, is just uber talented, and he hooked me up. I had high expectations, and they definitely smashed it.
Well, I mean, you've been doing this a long time. You put the hours in. You should have your own amp. It sounds awesome.
I
dude.
never planned on it, but I'm super happy to have it.
Really? It just kind of came out of the blue, or
they just offered. Like,
You're
hey,
kidding.
why don't we do something? Because I was really into the amp that they had loaned me. But now I got this. It's even better.
What's better than that?
Effects loop, switchable, everything I want.
There's no reason. I mean, that's it. You don't have to even do a V2.
Well, I don't need nothing. What more can I want?
Well, thanks for your time, man. I appreciate it. You want to play us out?
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, please. Thank you. Hell yeah. Thank you. All right.